Where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
Alright, so it pains me to say that I did not get to watch Weapons in theaters. I really, really wanted to because the moment I saw that first trailer, I was like, I need to see that show. I need to see that show. That trailer is one of the best I have seen for a movie all year, and especially with horror, though, right? Like I'll put this up there with the first trailer for 28 years later. That's a great trailer, just true and true, right? But just in terms of what the premise is and the little that they tell you, but just the tone of it and just how creepy that shit was, I was like, all right, I need to see this show, right? But life got in the way, unfortunately, and I didn't get the chance to see it, right? What I will say though is that I have been avoiding spoilers like the plague. I hear about a certain character that could be getting a prequel. I hear Warner Brothers talk about, hey, we wanna give this character, we wanna explore this character. Let's do a prequel thing, and God forbid we have another Conjuring universe in our hands, right? Where we had to take a beloved character for the first film and give that character a spin-off, right? It could be something like that, right? But whatever. But last point I'll make, right? So I don't think we talked about it when it came out, right? But I actually watched this just a few days ago in preparation for this movie, right? I finally watched Barbarian. I finally watched that. And yeah, so this is actually the debut feature and feature length screenplay debut of Zach Cregger, right? If I got the name wrong, forgive me, right? Yeah, and I mean, yes, it shows in terms of the screenwriting side of things, right? Like, it's not a perfect script, right? It need a little tweaking, a little polish here or there, right? But as far as for what he was going with that show, it was really enjoyable. It was really entertaining, right? One thing in particular, this is what I feel that he will improve on and really really do much better with this movie here, Weapons. The twists, the subversions in terms of you thinking, oh, the story is going this way. All right, I'm with you, and then it just diverts and it shows you something else. But there's like, no, 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 trust me, this is gonna come back later, and then we go back to that now, and then it just all makes sense. So I have a feeling because that's what Barbarian does. I'm not gonna spoil what happens in Barbarian, but yeah, you think that it is about some weirdo in this Airbnb kind of house, and this woman just shows up wanted to rent it out for the night and thinking, oh, he is gonna do some kind of creepy shit to her. But then you realize, oh, no, 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 there's something else that's going on. And then somebody else is introduced, and then something else happens, and then it all kind of comes together, right? So I have a feeling that Weapons is gonna do that same exact diversion kind of thing where you think it's gonna be about this, right? It's about these kids who suddenly disappear on this day of, and but then they actually realize, oh no, it's something else entirely. So I don't know if he's gonna do that. I hope that's what happens, but that's what you'll tell me, right? But before we begin, right? And just quick little warning, Ricardo, try not to spoil this for me, please, because I want to be surprised, right? But yeah, Ricardo,
I'll go.
before we begin, right? Did you by chance see Barbarian? Now, what do you think about
Yeah,
it? If you saw, what do you
yeah,
thought
that,
about it?
yeah, that I like the thing. I like the atmosphere and the conceit of it. It was good, just solid filmmaking. It's a smaller film, and yeah, just like that. We get another nice little product from this guy again. And yeah, we I think we have an independent film like leading the box office. It's like the second good horror to lead the box office for the year. I think Sinners was the last one. I think. Um,
Yeah, and
so
boy, Warner Bros, right?
yeah, yeah,
Is on a
yeah. One
roll
of us.
right now with these horror films,
Yeah,
but
they're
like,
doing.
god damn.
Yeah, they're doing.
And they have
Yeah, exactly.
I know you wouldn't care to watch it because you're not a Conjuring fan. Yeah, Conjuring Last Rites, which is supposed to be the final film in the franchise. I don't know if I'll see it theatrically. I probably doubt it because I saw the last one at home because of pandemic. But yeah, if they come through with a real solid end to that franchise, then hey, Warner could be 3 for 3 as far as great horror releases this year, right? But yeah, back to Weapons. Yeah,
So you just get a nice little outing for this from that perspective, and yeah, I dig it for what it is. So weapons, right? So the explanation in the trailer is basically the origin of the movie. Sometime about a month prior to the original events of the movie, the events of the film. Uh, at 2:15 a.m., a bunch of children just get up and walk out of the house and, get from, and then disappear. And now, they have to make sense of what's going on or what you're trying to do. And what we do is we focus on like 4 or 5 characters who um have a perspective, and they kind of do the Rashomon thing, but it's not about like a meditation on truth necessarily. How I kind of think of it is like it's just more like the slow degradation of narrative because of this traumatic event and how people slowly but surely, Carolee, like make sense of it, and then making less and less sense over time because of what the event is, and you find out what's going on. There's an explanation. It's ultimately explanation. I don't want to, as I say, I don't want to spoil it. I was going to mention a certain character from Disney. That is all I would say, but I think that'll spoil it if I say who it is. But they explain what it is, what's going on, who's involved, and why, and ultimately that thing. Oh gosh, was the name of the movie that came out? I enjoyed this movie a lot, about as much as Oh gosh, what's the name of this movie?
Bring her back.
Bring her back. Thank you.
Oh, here's the thing. I know it's out on digital. We're supposed to begin it in theaters this month for some odd reason.
Right.
But I do want to see it. Well, at home, of course, because it's out, right, digitally, right. But I hear great things about that. I really want to see that. That's
yeah. I watched Bring Her Back when that came out. I thought that was great. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and this is up there with that. This one have not strong plot wise, but it has very similar conceits. In terms of like what they're trying to go for and what they're trying to do. And I was enjoying it for what it is. And yeah, this one is great. Like it sets up a good conceit. Everybody's good in this. Josh Brolin, he's really good in this. I forget the girl who Silver. She's good in this.
Oh, right, yes, Julia Garner's in this. I forgot. Yes.
Right, yeah. Oh gosh, this fella, Alan Ehrenreich, he's really good in this. So they set up the conceit, and then they have her and she's good. Alan Ehrenreich is in this. He's really good. I forget the actor's name, but he plays this kind of junky character. He's great. Like they make that work for what it is, and they have a little like comedy to us. I'll say the only issues with the film is that they set up a bunch of things. It feels like something I forget what, like not Coen Brothers. Oh gosh, they feel like something like Paul Thomas Anderson would make. Like, it's that kind of this character driven beat. But the main plot itself either overlapses and eclipses everything because they have to get to that. And I felt like, oh, this would be a better movie if they didn't like even worry about addressing that in a meaningful way. Because they address it and it's answered. But like not like most I don't think a couple of the plot lines would tie into that necessarily. It's just more happenstance and getting it to get to that point. But it's not like it didn't feel like to me a tighter film could have cut that maybe and get from point A to point B better. I'm not sure. But I really dug this. I thought this was really, really well made. I really had a lot of fun with it. It's a lot of interesting choices. I am usually I'm a person who doesn't really like the conceit, again, when it's revealed what's happening. I'm not a fan of the conceit personally, but it works. And given because Bring Her Back did something kind of like this, kind of, I enjoyed for what that was. This also does somewhat similar conceit, somewhat like I loosely affiliated, but they make it work. And yeah, this was just like a good character beat. The ending is wild as hell. Like that last action climax, like what happens is it's funny because it balances humor with like terrifying, and they balance it really well because it's played kind of like a comedy because the guy is like he has comedy chops, but it's also really terrifying at the same time, and they really make it work, and it's really really like great, interesting like gonzo stuff. Like it's very oh gosh, what's this guy's name? Who directed Doctor Strange 2 now? God, it's
Sam Raimi. Yeah.
Very Sam Raimi, right? Very, very Sam Raimi. You kind of feel at times, like especially when they do some of these close-ups. It's like, oh right, it's just really solid filmmaking.
I'm glad to see that Zach hasn't lost his sense of dark humor because I picked that up in Barbarian. He a twisted motherfucker though. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah. He play with the dark humor really well and do the comedy chops really, really well for what it is. And yeah, I can't be mad at that. Right, rating. I give it like a solid score, like a 8 out of 10. It didn't blow my way, and I was slightly disappointed for the reveal, slightly. Where it's like, oh, we're doing this. Okay, I wanted it to be this, but it's not this. And then they have a lot of interesting like political subtext. Like if you want to interpret this, that, or the other, that is reading into it too much. But I just got the conceit of like the mood and the vibe of the aesthetic. It's like, okay, I think I know what they're going for from a mood subtext standpoint. Like that works. And yeah, again, if I say anything, it'll spoil it. Like, but that's about it. Yeah, rating 8 out of 10. I do strongly recommend this. This might make my top 10 for the year. I'm not sure if it will, but it might. It probably will, given how things shaping up for the year. I dig this one. This was an excellent out, and I strongly recommend it.